We back in this bitch.
As the calendar would turn from 2005 into 2006, the WWE was in a bit of a weird space. 06 to me is one of the more underrated years of the company. It finally saw Edge, a guy who had maybe been known as a tag team person, finally reach the main event, win his first world title, and get that big feud with Cena. Rey Mysterio would win the Royal Rumble and win the World Championship at Mania that year and have one of the worst booked runs in history. Kurt Angle would have some great matches on his way out of the company where he would leave for 11 years and arguably have a greater career in TNA. Why am I telling you this? Well, because we need an intro, and 2006 also saw the release of arguably to many people the best wrestling game ever made, SmackDown vs. Raw 2007. Now, I'm sure you'll notice in the title, I specifically put the PS2 version, and there's a reason for that. SmackDown vs. Raw 2007 was the first game to be released on 7th-gen platforms. Only 360 users got it though, as us PS3 kids were deemed unworthy. I own both versions of SVR 2007, and I had fully intended to review the 360 version, and then this happens. Now, thankfully this wasn't a full red ring of death. I have a later model 360, so I unplugged it and it works just fine now. But it wasn't like I left the console on for hours on end. The fan just gets hot as soon as it gets cut on, so I didn't want to fight it. I'm just going to look at the PS2 version today. That's not a bad thing though, because they're both the same game, just the 360 version looks better and has the sweat shit. Jumping into the game, the biggest change up to this point in series history was the control overhaul. See, this was the first game to have the joystick controls. To walk, joystick. Execute moves, joystick. Is it terrible? No. It's manageable, but I feel like using circle to grapple will always be the superior control scheme. But one thing the joystick is really good for is the ultimate control moves. These are interactable moves that can be controlled by you, the player, manually. For example, say you get your opponent in the fireman's carry position. You can either hit them with the FU or an airplane spin, and many more moves. There's actual hotspots around the arena that you can use. There's even like these backstage areas that have hotspots and interactables. Like in the bar brawl, there's this cool finisher that is clearly meant for Stone Cold, but here's Cena stealing his gimmick. Also new to the SmackDown vs. Raw series is the crowd area. They showed it off in the original trailer, and it's a neat addition here, but it kind of does suck because it was only here for one more game. By the time that 2009 came out, it was gone. During my recording of this game, I would notice that the commentary would bug out, and they would just talk about things that were not happening on screen. Take a listen to this bizarre commentary bug.
I can't believe someone as out of it as Rob Van Dam could be featured as prominently as he is here in the WWE. I don't even think he knows where he is right now.
Van Dam might seem laid back, but don't ever mistake that for a lack of awareness or intensity.
A little further, he could win the Money in the Bank match right here.
I feel like the AI has been really improved here. I played a match between Bobby Lashley and Kurt Angle, and Lashley kept reversing my finish, and I kept doing the same. But sometimes the AI does like to turn pussy here. Like, I'm clearly trying to get the AI to come and fight me in the crowd area, and it just will not budge. I have to literally make the AI come fight me in the crowd. I forgot to mention, the crowd also has its own interactable hotspots for the ultimate control, and they work in a hardcore match's benefit, so that's another plus I forgot to mention. Also good to report is, up to this point, we do have the best soundtrack in the series, and I'll just play a couple songs here. Let me know what you think.
I'm James Bond in the octagon with 2 razors. Bitch, I didn't know I had a fake arm. I lost it while in war before rap. I was getting it on. Took a fat nigga out in like 40 seconds. My gun get hard with a 45 still erection. Brilliant taste so sweet. I'm not afraid anymore. Forgive me. money in the bank. See you, man.
Money in the bank.
SVR 2007 is chock full of little attention to details that are noticed here. Like, there are hints of the ECW brand in this game, but ECW becoming the third brand happened way too late in development for it to be, like, established. But the One Night Stand Arena is here, and I still can't figure out how to unlock it legitimately. Can someone please let me know how to do this? SmackDown vs. Raw 2007 also features a challenge mode that I've never really cared to indulge in, but this game has one challenge, and you know exactly what challenge I'm talking about. The iconic Beat the Great Khali while using Mickey James. Who came up with this? What psychopath thought this would be a good challenge? From what I know, it's possible, but you have to, like, cheat and shit like that. I've never done it because, again, I don't care about challenge mode, but I thought I had to mention it here. Now, jumping into this game's season mode, I selected Kurt Angle, who at the time of this game's release was actually the TNA World Champion. But this was the last game that Kurt Angle would appear in until 2017's 2K18 as a pre-order bonus. And he's broken in this game. 95 overall, destroys everybody. You can skip the majority of the matches in season mode, and unless the storyline calls for you to lose, you will win most of the time. Now, I won't mention every single storyline because then we'd be here for 35 minutes, but almost everyone is well done and well written, with some of my favorites being the one involving Candice Michelle and Edge. Candice Michelle is out here with a magic wand doing wild shit, turning Kurt Angle into a full-blown woman.
It's a magic wand, and the only thing that it's loaded with is magic.
Look, Wicked Witch of the West, keep that magic wand to yourself from now on.
What? Wicked Witch? That's it. You and me in the ring tonight.
What? You gotta be kidding me. I don't do bikini contests. What the?
I know. How about a singles match? I'll see you out there, girlfriend.
The big blow-off feud ends in a ladder match, and just look at this.
Are beating the hell out of each other 15 feet in the air. This capacity crowd is making their opinions known tonight.
No surprise there, Cole. The WWE fans ain't exactly known for keeping their opinions to themselves.
He was one step ahead on that one.
The AI colluded against me, and I will not have it. There's one that involves Mr. Kennedy and Mark Henry that is just pure comedy gold.
The two men making their way to the ring because this will be the last time you see them in one piece. One of them is obviously too stubborn to quit, and the other one is too stupid to mind his own business. Either way, they're about to get an education from Mr. Kennedy.
There's an actual SmackDown vs. Raw storyline involving Booker T being a traitor and your character being caught in the crossfire. Speaking of SmackDown and Raw, this is the first time in a season mode that you can get traded from show to show, which is actually a really great improvement. It's random. It's not like I can just freely choose to go to SmackDown or Raw, but hey, this is a good improvement nonetheless, a good step in the right direction. Season mode has you walk around in your own personal locker room, but unlike 2006, this one is fully explorable, and here with full detailed customization. We had shit like this back in 2006, and it's got interior customization on the level of Saints Row 2's interior customization. Another improvement that's more of a nitpick, if anything, is the fact that losing the Rumble doesn't end your season mode. I'm not going to stop complaining about it. It's a dumb decision. And I'm glad it's corrected here. On top of all the really good things that this game does, this is one of the few season modes, I believe, that actually lets you continue even after you beat it. Say you lose at WrestleMania. Okay, no big deal. The game doesn't end your season mode. You can continue playing and redo the storylines you lost or never experienced. Same character and everything, your experience won't reset. This is really cool. Yukes made a really good decision here with this game's season mode, that's all I'll say. Of course, the general manager mode is back here again, and from what I've heard, this is the best version of it. I'm not a big GM mode fan, so I can't confirm or deny, Maybe I'll make a video of me actually trying it and learning how to play someday, but I've never been the biggest GM mode guy. This is gonna suck to say, but I've spent more time with the 2K version of GM mode that is okay at best. I was just never good at it. So, to answer the question, is SmackDown vs. Raw 2007 the greatest game of all time? To this point in the SmackDown series, yeah, I would think so. Do I think it's the best game in the SmackDown vs. Raw series? No, I don't. I think it's second best behind another game that we'll talk about later that I cannot wait to get to. But if I sat here and said this game doesn't deserve its reputation, that would be pure blasphemy.
That is blasphemous. That is blasphemous.
I enjoyed my time with SV07, and so far, it's the best game. Now, even though I'm a believer that graphics aren't everything, I still would recommend the 360 version, and at the time of the recording, the online servers are still up, so go play online with your friends if you can, for old time's sake. Next time, we will be leaving the PlayStation 2 and taking a look at SmackDown vs. Raw 2008 on the PlayStation 3. Would it improve on 2007, or would it be a flop? Find out next time.